I am going to need your help to
boy.
explain this next segment.
Oh, boy.
Tony Schiavone brings out Ricochet, and they note he's got 6 points in the Continental Classic, and Schiavone asks him about the recent change in attitude for old Rick. And before he can answer, the Hurt Syndicate come out, and Ricochet brings up beating Commander and Brody King and says, I could end up facing Shelton. And against Ospreay, you're going to see a different side of me on Saturday. MVP cuts him off and asks to see the business card. So Ricochet pulls out the Hurt Syndicate card that was handed to him, and they rip it up as Lashley grabs Ricochet, and MVP tells the freshman in high school, no one likes a kiss ass, and they send Ricochet fleeing to the back like a total geek. I didn't know what this was, but what it was the worst segment on the show tonight.
Yeah. Oh, well, okay. So very interesting. This was a very hot crowd. We've established. They were pretty quiet after this segment. And I think we all collectively shared that similar reaction because we were all probably
how are you to react to this?
Completely confused why they would do this to Ricochet. Okay, we're talking about Ricochet. Okay, somebody who was brought in, I would say, with a considerable amount of buzz. Okay, he went from being a pretty cool babyface to maybe being a not as cool, or at least just maybe not as hot babyface. We should say, but gaining a lot of people's hopes by teasing a cool heel turn. So for the better part of, I guess,
there's nothing cool about this character.
They went from cool heel to now totally turning him into an uncool joke of a reject being bullied by the cool heels. They turned him into an R-Truth type of character in this segment. And that was shocking to me. They would take that investment and completely cool him off by doing this to him. And I say all of this with the caveat that, okay, this could actually be their way of leading to something, whether it be Swerve or something against Swerve. But
it leads to Swerve later.
It's clear that Ricochet is at least staying as a heel, but what tier of heel I think remains to be seen. Even then, I just don't think you'd ever want to have your audience picture him this way, right? You don't want your marquee guys to.
Could you imagine Will Ospreay in this scenario?
I can't. No.
These two should be on equal footing in perception to your audience. And you are going into this match on Saturday. I don't care what this leads to. I would never try to take someone that the audience does see as a star coming here and making them look so insignificant as this one did. I don't know if this will just be a blip in Ricochet's ongoing turn here. But I think there's a decent shot that we could look back at this as one of those just absolutely puzzling moments that paints this guy as just someone of no consequence on this roster.
I think the cool factor is so important for somebody like a Ricochet, really for any modern professional wrestler, especially if you're going to be a babyface or even a heel. And to just even entertain the idea of putting him into this low level guy type of light is, I think, potentially very risky and very damaging for, this high value property that they've acquired, from free agency. But again, this isn't the end of Ricochet, even on this episode. So maybe we'll talk about the next segment and we'll maybe fully assess what we think of Ricochet afterwards.
Renee is back to get Ricochet's reaction. How do you think that segment was supposed to go? Ricochet, he literally is asked about what just happened out there, and is the Hurt Syndicate offer off the table? He's like, I don't know. I'm just focused on the Continental Classic. And one of the reasons I came to AEW was Will Ospreay. I came here to beat him and shut him up. I mean, I don't know why this angle happened 20 minutes earlier. It had no effect on this. He just changed the subject. He turns around.
The fact that they brought it up, clearly, I think we're supposed to continue to think about it, right?
Well, he turns around to see Swerve and Nana, and Swerve calls him a turd. And then Swerve, a man after my heart, because there is nothing I like more than a little reality mixed into fake conversations. And Swerve says, I knew it was just a matter of time before the real Rico, or should I say, the real Trevor, showed his face. And Ricochet, I quote, "Oh, Trevor, oh, you're going to use my real name." He says, Swerve says, "I thought you might have changed, but it's still the same old Trevor, a follower. And that's not going to work here in AEW." Ricochet says, "Well, I know the real Swerve too. And you didn't win the Continental Classic last year. And this year, I'm going to win the Continental Classic. So, Way, we got Trevor here in AEW." So I was hoping.
What's Swerve's real name?
Stefan.
Stefan. Wait, is it actually Stefan?
He is Stefan Strickland.
Oh, interesting. Okay, because I was going to say, I feel like I figured out this Ricochet, whatever this was supposed to be. Okay, we saw a very different Ricochet tonight than his prior to his AEW run. Now, you neglected to include this in your recap, John, but he did do the Jada Kiss laugh not once,
No,
but twice.
I didn't skip over that. I can't do that.
Yes, he did it twice. Okay, and it was
his
even more obnoxious than it was last week. So there's a very clear intent from Ricochet now to be an obnoxious heel. And
He's a dork. Like, he is a dork.
Kind of dorky. Now, whether or not dorkiness is the intended effect, I mean, I don't know. But it's being played up.
It is the end result of this.
It's being played up for some form of heel character change that he's now doing. And I think I figured it out. And you mentioned Stefan. I think Ricochet is supposed to be Stefan. Trevor is Steve Urkel. Okay, I think that's where we're at. All right, are we seeing just the nerdiest, like, original Trevor with like the big afro that we've seen in all the that Triple H photo? Is that guy going to come back? Is this what this is?
Samantha Irvin coming in as Laura?
Yes, sure. And then like Laura would want nothing to do with Trevor. Anyway, I don't know what this is. I'll say at the very least, it's interesting. It's more interesting than I guess like what Ricochet has been doing. He needs to take these sort of risks. How risky? I'm not here to like even say that this was successful or not. But I think he needed some form of change, and I'm at least interested to see where this is going more than I was after just watching the first segment at least.
Yeah, I think this has been terrible. I'm not opposed to this guy doing a heel turn, but be a cocky asshole. I mean, it's just I don't know. To me, this is, I don't know. We will see. Maybe this is going to be his career maker here.
We'll see. We'll check in.
He'll rename the 630 Splash. Did I do that?
If you like this video, consider joining our Patreon, the Post Wrestling Cafe. Multiple bonus podcasts every week, ad-free shows, and access to our full archive. Otherwise, a like and subscribe is much appreciated. Thank you for watching.